Hey guys, welcome to our fourth 20-minute cooking lesson live from my kitchen in Queens. I'm Talia, founder of Workweek Lunch, if you are new, and I'm super excited to teach you how to cook rice in a pot tonight. So I have here 3/4 of a cup of jasmine rice, 1.5 cups of water, and a big pinch of salt. So that's what we're gonna get started with. So with rice, you wanna bring it to a boil with the water. You don't wanna add it to boiling water. So just in the pot with salt and water. Don't stir it. That is the #1 rule of tonight. If there's anything that you learned from this evening, it is do not stir. Do not bother, do not stir the rice. So I'm turning up the heat all the way to the very top. I'm gonna let it boil. I also wanna talk about adding fat to the rice. So this is a little bit of olive oil. This is optional. It only works with long grain rice. This is not a good move with short grain rice, okay? So we are using jasmine, basmati. I think brown rice would work, but so I'm gonna add it in, but it's totally optional. I usually don't. For rice, like I am a white rice person. Brown rice bothers my stomach, but by the way, you can use whatever rice you want in your cooking. I would say white rice cooks a little faster for me. I just like the texture and flavor more, but that's on you. Jasmine rice is my favorite because it's just super reliable, and I think that you can turn it into so many different meals. And I also have 2 other kinds of rice here. So I've got sushi rice, which as you can see is short, it's small, it's little. This is what we would use in our Japanese cooking. So sushi rice, very small. It cooks pretty much the same, but I would say you'd want to rinse it and soak it and all that stuff. Notice that I did not soak or rinse my rice. Why? Well, I would say rinsing and soaking rice is only a thing if you're scared of arsenic on it and getting it off. I personally was not brought up that way, and we just never rinsed or soaked our rice. The sushi rice though does pretty well when you soak it for 30 minutes and rinse it. I'm not sure why the long grain rice, it doesn't react well to that. You're gonna get it kind of mushy, but this does. That's what I know. The other kind of rice I have is this basmati rice. It's long grain like jasmine rice, and it's left over from an Indian cooking class that I took. I like this a lot. To me, this and jasmine are very similar in terms of cooking it. With these, you can toast it in the pan for a while. You can get it going, make it really fragrant with olive oil and spices. You don't have to make plain rice every time. It's gonna get really boring if you do that. So we have a boil going. I'm just going to cover it and turn down the heat all the way to a level 2 on this thing. Now we're gonna let it sit there for 10 minutes. I'm gonna keep time and we can talk about rice while we wait. So I wanna talk about ways to flavor rice while we are here and hanging out waiting for it. My favorite thing to do with just this kind of rice is adding coconut milk. So generally you want your rice to have a 2-to-1 ratio. It's gonna be like 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of water. That is a very reliable ratio. You can always, you don't even need a recipe for that. If you know you have 1/4 cup of rice, you're gonna need 1/2 cup of water. If you have 2 cups of rice, you need 4 cups of water. It's gonna work out pretty much every time. Is it the only way to do it? No. There are other ratios, depends on the kind of rice. But yeah, remember, 2-to-1, that's what we're going for. You can always remember that. But if you wanna spice it up a little bit, you can add things like coconut milk. So let's just say you wanna replace half of the water with coconut milk instead. That's a really, really delicious way to flavor rice. One mistake I've made when I did this, by the way, is if you do this, do not put olive oil in the rice while you're also using coconut oil, because this already has plenty of fat in it and you don't need olive oil. The other way I like to flavor rice is with salsa. You can just, again, replace half the water with some salsa. It's delicious. It is really, really yummy. Highly recommend doing this if you have some salsa that's about to go bad, or you just have a lot of it and you just feel like switching it up. Do that. Another thing you can do is add spices. So I love adding turmeric to rice. It gives it that nice yellow color. You can add cumin seeds. You can pretty much use any spices or herbs you want in rice to make it not plain. Or you just chop some garlic when in doubt. Garlic always saves the day. And those are some ideas. Again, the possibilities with rice are endless, and this is a skill you want to master. Look, there are a lot of ways to cook rice. You could do it in an Instant Pot. You could do it in a crock pot or rice cooker. I also have a special pot called a donabe, which is used in Japan just for cooking rice and some other stuff, but like, there are a lot of ways to do it. Stirring the rice and stirring the pot activates the starch, which is what makes it really mushy. And you really don't want, no one likes mushy rice. I mean, I don't really like it. Can I say that I get it right every single time? No, but I would say the number one mistake people make is stirring it. You just don't need to. Unless you're making risotto, which is a completely different type of dish. The other rule to cooking rice, by the way, is do not lift the lid up, because it really does cook with the steam. That's kind of how the rice actually cooks. It's not the water, it's the steam. So if you're taking the lid off, you're letting the steam out, and we really don't want that. So that's my number one, another tip that you definitely want to keep in mind. A clear lid helps, because then you can actually see what's going on. Like we can see little holes happening in the rice, which means it might be time to turn off the heat and just let it steam. But I'm not sure. Again, I'm on this burner. You see this thing? I'm not usually used to cooking with this, so hopefully it comes out right, guys. I mean, I think I could do it. You believe in me? Oh yeah, salt. Salt is super important. Salt makes food taste like food. Do not forget the salt in your rice. Okay guys, let's check on this. I don't know if it's too early, but we'll find out. So let's see where we're at. Okay, we definitely have some rice sticking to the bottom. Again, I've never used this before, but it seems like we did a pretty good job. And I'll show you how to fix that at the bottom there. I'm totally happy with this. At least it's not burned, you know. But now we're fluffing. Look at that. It's pretty much where we want to be. The oil definitely helped. Okay, so because there's some rice sticking to the bottom, what I'm going to do is take out all of this and just kind of add a little bit of water, and we will just get that off the bottom of the pot. It's not burned though. Let me show you. See, it's there's like a layer that's like about to be burned, but it's not. Okay, we did it. We have our cooked rice. You are welcome to watch the replay and the IGTV video when it comes out. Again, thank you guys for coming. I hope that you picked up some good tips. The biggest ones are don't stir the rice, make sure you add salt, and let it steam. Don't lift up the lid. So those are the three main keys that you should take away for this. Also, I guess, okay fine, there's one more. The 2-to-1 ratio for water to rice. Alright guys, I will see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock, same time, same place, different stuff, and thank you again for being here. I hope you have a great night. Bye!